Hey folks, this is Vince with Ads Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to check out the video game adaptation of the popular board game Splendor. It's a game that I reviewed a while back, gave it a 9 out of 10, and really enjoyed the board game. I have to say, I play it as much as I can. I don't know what it is. It's very addicting. There's a nice balance between card collecting and resource management. And the price is pretty fair too. I think I bought it for like 30 bucks. Splendor, the video game adaptation that you're looking at today, is for $10, and you can find it on Steam, and I'm assuming some other places, but the press code that I got was for Steam. So what is Splendor? Well, for those of you that have never played the game before, like I was saying, it's sort of a combination between resource management and card collecting. In essence, you'll be collecting these gems, and then you'll be spending those gems to get cards. These cards will grant you victory points and some passive resources that will always be present. So basically, as you buy more and more cards, you'll gain more and more passive resources that'll help you buy the more expensive cards down the line. And the first player to get so many victory points will signal the end of the game, and then whoever has the most points will win. I have a review out there, like I said, on my official website, and I even have a tutorial video on how to play the board game. So if you haven't already, go check that out on my official website and on my YouTube channel. That way you can get a feel for how the game is played. Today I'll be focusing more on this video game adaptation. Here's the main menu. In the upper left-hand corner, you've got your options, screen settings, full screen, widescreen, or I'm guessing there's other options here. There's screen resolution here, anti-aliasing, all that jazz. There's general options. You've got sound and music. I have the music turned on for the sake of the commentary and to prevent copyright issues. You've also got some other toggles here, like see the number of tokens, text for small screens, right-click to end turn. I haven't actually played the video game adaptation yet. I've played the board game many a time, but this is the first time that I've actually played this. There's also a Learn to Play section here for those of you that want to learn how to play the game. And there's even a Change Your Avatar under the options menu. So, and these pictures represent the same pictures that are in the board game, which is really cool. So you can change your color, and you can change your avatar, coat of arms, all that jazz. But, yeah. Alright, so let's just go ahead and hit play. There's also challenges down here. I haven't checked that out yet, but I'm just going to hit play. And I'm guessing this is the setup. Play against the AJ. I'm guessing that's the AI. And let's just quickly take a look and see what the difficulties are. There's opportunistic, random behavior, secret behavior, balanced. Okay. So there's different behaviors. As far as actual difficulty levels, though, I don't see that here. Okay, there's also pass and play. So if you have another player with you in the house that wants to play this game, then, and you can even add more players if you want to. So you can play up to 4 players, which is good. The board game, I believe, supports between 2 and 4 players, so that's to be expected. Players order, you can change that to be random. Game setup, and you can see that on the right-hand side, what you get in a 4-player game. In the board game, different tokens, a number of tokens and different nobles will be available to players, all depending on how many people are actually playing the game. So that's just for balance issues. You wouldn't include all of these different gems for just 2 players. You have to sort of limit the amount of resources that 2 players would have, and then increase that number as you add more players to the game. And prestige points is your victory point. That's what you're trying to get in this game. And I think what I'm going to do, though, is just do a pass and play. Oh, you can even enter names. That's really cool. But I'm just going to do, I'm going to X these guys out. And then I'm going to play against another player. That way I can actually commentate and sort of explain how the game is played without worrying too much about the AI kicking my you-know-what. So there's that. But you can name your players if you want to, which is cool. I'll just do, yeah, that works. And, yeah, let's just go ahead and hit play. One thing I have to note real quick is that the game seems to lack online multiplayer, which is a real shame because this game would work well in an online multiplayer setting. I mean, granted, I do like the fact that this is a digital representation. I'm always for digital representations of board games because A, they're usually cheaper. Splendor in itself on Amazon, the board game, is 30 bucks. And this game is $10, the digital adaptation. So it's 3 times cheaper. On top of that, digital adaptations save on shelf space, and generally they're easier to set up and clean up. The computer does all the math and all the work for you. So I really enjoy digital adaptations of board games sometimes. Granted, you know, you don't get the same experience as you would playing a physical board game with somebody else, but the digital ones are really convenient and nice. But yeah, an online multiplayer would be great here. Unfortunately, there is none. So there's only the local pass and play. And some people buy these games strictly for the solo play against the AI, which is totally valid. All right, let's go ahead and hit play. Okay. So as I was saying, basically the way this game is played, you've got these gems over on the right-hand side here, and on your turn you can do a number of different things, one of which is collect so many gems, like basically you choose different gems to add to your personal bank. And then, you know, on a future turn, you can always spend those gems to get the cards in the center of the table. There's 3 rows. The bottom row represents the cheapest cards that you could possibly get. The middle row is the moderately expensive cards, and the top row is the very expensive cards. Now, you'll notice that there's all these different numbers on these cards. The numbers inside the colored circles, like let's take a look at the bottom left-hand card. It's white. There's a silver gem on the very top right hand corner of it, and then on the bottom left of the card is a blue 2 and a black 2. Basically, these are the gems that you need to turn in back to the bank in order to buy this card. Now, I was saying in the beginning of this video, whenever you buy these cards, sometimes you'll get victory points and sometimes you'll get gems. Which is like a passive resource that you can use in addition to the gems that you're getting on the right to buy more expensive cards. So if I were to buy this card in the bottom left-hand corner here, I would get 1 passive white gem, which then I can use from then on in for the rest of the game to help me buy some of these other cards. No victory points, though, for this particular card. If you look at the one above it, this one has a 1 on the very top, along with a silver gem, or white gem. So, if I were to buy this card, I'd need to turn in 2 red gems, 2 black gems, and 3 green gems. If I were to do that, then I would gain 1 victory point, or prestige points, and then I'd be able to use that white gem, you know, for the rest of the game in order to help me buy these other cards. What do I mean by that? Well, let's just say that I have a card with a white gem on it, and I wanted to buy this card down here, second one from the left. You'll see it has a red 1, a white 1, a black 1, and a blue 1. Well, if I had this card up here with the white gem on it, all I need is 1 red gem, 1 black gem, and 1 blue gem. That white card that I have already has a white gem on it, so I can use that to put toward the card that I'm trying to buy. You don't have to turn these cards back in once you have them. These are passive bonuses that you get for the rest of the game. So as I was saying, you're going to be basically buying these cheaper cards down here with these tokens. Eventually you'll get more and more cards, and as you get more and more cards, you'll get all of these passive resources, and then that allows you to afford some of these more expensive ones up here, like this one up here on the very top, second one over from the right, 7 black gems. Well, there's only 4 black gems in the bank for these 2 players, so you're gonna have to get some of these cheaper cards with these black gems on them, and then use those in combination with these other black gems in the bank to afford that one on the very top. That would net you 4 victory points and 1 white gem that you could then use toward another card. It makes more sense as you play it. And then finally on the right hand side here, you've got what are called nobles, and these nobles basically have requirements in order for you to collect them. Their victory points are on the bottom right hand corner of the card. That's how many victory points you get for getting them to your side. Basically, they're sort of like rich folk that are attracted to wealth and power, and if you get the correct number of gems via these cards here, in this case the one in the middle here, the one in red, needs 4 green and 4 red. So if I get 4 cards that have the green gem on it and then 4 cards that have the red gem on it, this person will automatically be attracted to my part of the table and will stay with me for the rest of the game. And as a result, I get 3 victory points. So you can gain victory points by basically buying these cards, and you can also get victory points by attracting these nobles to your side of the table. And the first person to reach the victory point total will win the game. Oh, not maybe win, but will signal the end of the game, and then players will then take one final round or something like that, and then whoever has the most will win. These gold ones up here are wild. But there's something to note about that. You can't just take those willy-nilly. There's different actions that you can take on your turn. In fact, let me just go back to the menu real quick before we actually start. Let's hit leave. And I'd like to click on Learn to Play here. I'm curious to see how this looks, and B, I want to be able to correctly explain the different actions that you can take on your turn. It's not too complicated, but here are 3 decks of development cards with the most common level 1 on the bottom, level 2. So basically, as I was saying, cheapest on level 1, level 2 is moderately expensive, top row is very expensive. And you can see there's different number of cards in these various decks. I'm just going to blow through this to get to the point I was trying to make. 4 development cards. Yep. Okay. Here's how they were laid out. And then these are the tokens that you can get, or the gems that you can get. Diamond, there's white, blue, green, red, and black, as I was explaining. The gold ones are yellow. And then the number of token each pile depends on the number of players. Again, I was explaining all this already. The gold tokens always have 5, though. And then these are the nobles over here. They are drawn randomly from 10 unique tiles. And again, the number will change based on how many people are playing the game. To win, you must reach so many prestige points. Okay. And basically, this tutorial is outlining everything I just said, which is why I'm going through this so quickly. And the game is now explaining how the nobles work. So I'm just going to skip that because I already explained that. Here's my avatar. Got that. On your turn, you must select only one of the following 4 actions. This is what I was trying to get to, because the game would probably explain this better than I could off the top of my head. The first possible action, take 3 gem tokens of different colors. So that's one action you can take. A player cannot have more than 10 tokens at the end of her turn, including gold ones. If this happens, the game will prompt her to return tokens until she only has 10 of them. Okay. Take 2 gem tokens of the same color, so you can do that. However, players can never take 2 tokens of the same color if there are less than 4 tokens available of that color. This is why I was saying the tutorial here is going to explain this a lot better than I could. Your resources are located in your hand at the very bottom, which is cool. Now let's practice. Take a token by clicking the onyx. Okay, that's not all that difficult. Emerald, and then a ruby. So that's one action I can take, and then I end turn. And then you can see your resources pile up down here. I like how the UI has everything laid out. And the third possible action is to reserve a card. And basically, you can buy these cards outright if you want to, but you can also reserve a card. And when you reserve a card, basically you take that card of those 12 cards, put it near you, and then only you can buy that on a future turn. But you also get to collect a gold token at the same time. You cannot collect the gold token during those other 2 actions. Like that, whenever you're taking 3 tokens, you cannot take a yellow one or a gold one. But you only get these gold tokens when you take this third action, which is reserving a card, and then you get to take a gold token along with it. And again, the gold ones are wild that you can turn in for any color. If you're feeling lucky, you may draw the first card from one of these 3 decks to reserve it. Players cannot have more than 3 reserved cards. The only way to get rid of a reserved card is to actually purchase it. So basically, if I want to keep this card, it'll go down here. I get a gold token along with that, end turn. Okay. And then whenever you take or purchase cards from the middle here, a new card is drawn to replace it. And then you can see reserved cards down here. And then finally, the last impossible action is to purchase a card. And then you use the tokens that you're getting to purchase one of these 12 cards, or the ones that you have reserved. All right. And as I already explained how that works, so I'm just going to skip this. All right. So I think this is what I wanted to show you. Let's just browse through this real quick, see if there's anything I missed. Okay, it's telling me how to purchase. Let's buy this card. Okay. At the end of your turn, if you have the type and quantity of bonuses indicated on a noble tile, you earn that tile. Again, I explained that. Okay. I'm just going to get out of here now, because that's basically all I wanted to show you with the actions. So let's just go ahead and run through a few sample turns, just so I can show you what that all looks like. So we're going to go back to this. Oh, nice. You can actually resume a previously saved game. So I'm going to click on yes. Okay, and there's me, and then there's Vinny up here. So it's now Saberwolf's turn. So again, 1 of 4 actions. I don't have any gems right now. I don't have any cards to put toward anything. So I'm going to take a look at the bottom row and see what's required to purchase some of these cards. And And one thing that you're going to want to look for is those nobles on the right-hand side. What colors do they want? Well, this noble over here wants white and black. This noble over here wants white, blue, and black. This noble wants green and red. So black and white seems to be pretty popular choices in order to gain these extra victory points by getting these nobles. So what I'm going to want to do is collect cards that are white in nature, that have the white gem on it. But at the same time, some of those cards cost different colors. So for example, if I wanted to get this white card in my collection, I don't want to just collect white tokens. I need to get this one, 2 blue and 2 black. So maybe I need to go for this card here, or maybe I just want to get the blue ones. So maybe I get maybe 2 blue, but then I can't do that if there's less than so many of that color. So maybe I'm gonna hold off on getting that third one from the left. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to want to do. So 2 blue and 2 black. So I'm going to take 2. I'll take 1, 2, and again, they have to be of different colors. So I'm just going to maybe grab a some of these other cards down here. This green card wants a white one, and this blue one here wants a white one. So I'm going to go ahead and take a white one, and then end turn. And then now Vinny's going to go. He's going to go ahead and take a look at these cards down here and goes, what do I want to do? Well, I really want this card down here, so maybe I'm going to reserve it, because maybe he sees me collecting these gems, and it's going to be like, no, I'm not going to let you buy that. I'm going to go ahead and reserve this card for myself, and I'm going to take a gold one. So basically, the gems I was collecting to save up for the card I was saving up for, is now gone. So now I have to change my strategy a bit. Now it is my turn, Saberwolf's turn again. So now I've got 1 white, 1 blue, and 1 black. And what am I going to do with this? Well, I've got this card here. It's a green gem card, meaning I could buy it and then put it toward this person over here. Or I can use that green gem to help me purchase some of these other cards, you know. I think I'll just go ahead and take a red. I'll take a green, because this blue one wants a green one. And I'll take a... Which other one do I want? I'll take another blue one. Again, they have to be of different colors. End turn. All right, now Vinny's going to go. He has this card down here that's reserved. And he has 1 gold one, which is a wild. So in order to... I like how the cards are face down. So, you know, you can tell the other players to look away or whatever the case is. 2 blue and 2 black. So now what he's going to do is he's going to get one of those, and just something else. Maybe blue. He already has blue there. How about white? End turn. All right. And then now it's my turn again. So I'm going to take a look here. I've got 1 red. I've got 1 white, I've got 2 blue, and I've got 1 black. So I could purchase this card outright. And I like how the game actually highlights the card that you can actually purchase, just to remind you, hey, you have enough resources for this. So I'm going to go ahead and buy that. End my turn. Now, on a future turn, I will always have 1 extra green gem that I can use toward the purchase of some other card. And now it's Vinny's turn. So he's going to go ahead and get another... Again, this card, 2 blue and 2 black. So he's going to take a blue, a black, and we'll just say he wants a red. Sure. End turn. And then on a future turn, he can spend those resources and buy the card that he has reserved. All right, now it's my turn again. So now I've got 1 green gem, but I also have a card that grants me that 1 passive green. So now technically I have 2 green gems that I can put toward a card. I don't have enough for this one here. So maybe at some point in the future, I'm going to keep an eye out for another green card, just so I can add another resource to that, and I'll have 3 instead of just 2. But let's just grab some gems. This one's looking pretty attractive, this 2 red here. I don't have a black one, so if I were to grab 2 red right now, actually I can't because it's less than 4, I believe. So we'll just do one of those, and we'll take another, actually, we'll take a white one because we don't have a white one. We might be able to buy this blue one over here at some point as well. End turn. And now Vinny gets to go. He has this card here, 2 blue and 2 black. So he's going to purchase that. And now he has a white card in his possession, and it's granting him that 1 extra white gem, which he can put toward the purchase of other cards. And on top of that, that 1 white card is now going toward these nobles over here. So at some point when he gets 3 white and 3 black, or 4 white and 4 black, this one up here will join him. If he gets 3 white, 3 blue, and 3 black, then that noble will join him, and so on. So it's now my turn again. So I've got nothing. I don't have enough to purchase anything, but I'll grab another red. I'll grab another black, and I'll grab another green. That'll set me up. I can now purchase these 3 cards down here. Not all at once, mind you. You can only purchase 1 card per turn. Alright, now it's Vinny's turn. Now, as you can see, he doesn't have a lot of resources. So he's going to grab, he sees the green, he sees the blue, he likes that, and he sees the red, so he's going to grab another one. So now he's got 2 red, 1 green, 1 blue, 2 white. 1 white gem, 1 white card. Now, my turn. I've got 8 out of 10 tokens, so for me to now get more tokens from the bank would actually be kind of stupid, because I'd have to discard down to 10. So I want to spend some of these. So I could either buy this one, which will grant me a black gem for the rest of the game. I can buy this white one, which will go toward these nobles up here. That's probably what I'm going to do. And this blue one will grant me, yeah, I'd have to spend 2 red, 1 white, 1 green, 1 black. I think I'm going to just take this one here and end my turn. And now Vinny gets to go. He has 2 white. He could buy this one down here. I think he's going to go ahead and do that. He's got 6 tokens. He's going to buy that one. That'll give him a blue one that he can use. End turn. Alright, and then now it's my turn again. I think you get the general idea. This game is very easy to play. It's very easy to teach to new players. A great gateway game. What is difficult about it is all of the different possible moves that you can make at any one point in time. These 12 cards in the center are constantly refreshing themselves. Well, maybe not at first. Maybe these top 2 rows will stay the same for a while. But as players continue buying cards, these cards will constantly change. And these numbers here change. The costs always change, so you're constantly going after different gems so that you can afford these various cards. But you're also going to be looking at what the nobles want, and you're also going to be looking at the color that you would get for purchasing a card itself. So there's a lot of different resource management / card collecting going on, which is, and it can get pretty complicated. Some players may take 2 or 3 minutes per move just to take a look around and see, okay, do I want to go after this card here? That'll get me black. Does that black do anything for me in the future? Are there a lot of cards, like for example, this one in the lower left-hand corner? Do I want to buy this black one or do I want to buy this green one? Well, let's take a look around the rest of the board. This is a black gem. That black gem will go toward these 2 nobles on the right. And on top of that, the cards in the middle require some type of black gem. 3 out of 4 cards require a black gem or more. This card on the bottom row requires 2 black gems. The cards on the very top require 7. This one requires 7. This one requires 3. So me stockpiling black cards with black gems on them might be beneficial for me in the future. Again, for the nobles and for purchasing more cards. Whereas this green card over here only attracts the 1 noble. I need 4 green ones for that. I already have 1, so maybe I may want to go for that. But if we take a look around the rest of the board, there's 2 in the middle that require a green gem. There's 1 on the bottom here that requires a green gem. There's 1 on the top that requires a green gem. So as I'm looking at the board right now, it just seems like more cards require black gems. There's more of a demand for black gems. So I think buying this card in the bottom left-hand corner would be the best move for me. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and end my turn. And this is what I was talking about. The game is very easy. 1 out of 4 possible actions per turn, but you're going to be looking at all these cards and trying to decide where you want, first of all, what resources you want to collect. And before you can figure that out, you have to take a look at the board and the nobles and see, okay, what's being offered right now. So as a game, as a general game, the board game and the video game adaptation, fantastic. Love the game. I gave the board game a 9 out of 10, as I mentioned. The video game adaptation is fantastic, too. Everything is nice and easy to read. I like how the UI is laid out. It's very colorful and attractive still. It's one thing I loved about the board game. It's just very colorful, very attractive. This video game adaptation is very colorful and attractive, too. My only complaint, really, is the online multiplayer. And that's a shame. But at the same time, this game is 3 times cheaper than the board game adaptation, or the board game rather. So I guess what I'm getting at is with the board game, you'd be stuck with playing people in your house anyway. It's not like you can take it's not like you can play Splendor, the board game, with your neighbor across the street unless they come over to do it. And you most certainly couldn't play Splendor with someone, say, in Japan or something, unless they have a Splendor board set up and are mimicking your moves, or matching your moves from over here. Whatever. It's just, the online multiplayer to me isn't that big of a deal. But I mean, it would be nice to have. This game would certainly do well with it, but I'm not too terribly upset that it isn't included. Again, the game is 3 times cheaper. Bringing this out on my computer is easier than bringing it out on my dining room table, and it's just overall more convenient. So for those of you that don't know if you should buy the board game or the video game, honestly, I think... And if you're strapped for cash, then the digital adaptation is fine. If you have a big TV screen, you could play this game on your TV screen, hook your laptop up to the TV via HDMI or whatever, and you can play in your living room, and that could be, $20 cheaper than buying the actual board game. But I do want to give the board game a big kudos and a thumbs up too, because the gems in that game are heavily weighted and they look fantastic. The rest of the components look fantastic. So you really can't go wrong either way. I guess it's just a personal preference at this point. Do you prefer games on digital, or do you prefer games on the physical copy? I prefer both. I don't mind both. The video game adaptation is more convenient. The board game adaptation is just nicer, I think, to have physically. But anyway, I think this gives you a basic idea of how the game is played. If you guys want to see more gameplay video, let me know. More than likely, I'll be recording more gameplay in the future anyway, just because I want to see how the AI operates. But in the meantime, if you haven't already, subscribed to my YouTube channel. That way you can keep up to date with any new content I happen to publish. I also have an official website out there, www.dadsgamingaddiction.com. And while you're there, check out my review of the tabletop game Splendor, so you can get more of an idea of how the game is played, how it looks, and all that. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.